This is Sick and Wrong, America's #1 source for antisocial commentary. Brought to you by the Reach Around Foundation.
Hey there. Welcome to Sick and Wrong, America's #1 source for antisocial commentary. I'm one of your hosts, D. Simon.
I'm your other host, Lance Wackerly.
And this is podcast 14.
For a little while, we were just the source for America's antisocial commentary, but now we're #1.
I was thinking about it because I don't know of any other podcasts that engage in just complete antisocial commentary. So I think we're the #1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's self-declared, but I'd say we're #1.
True nonetheless.
So I just want to apologize in advance, Lance. I have awful gas tonight. I'm going to befoul this studio.
And this is different from
times.
This is different from the other podcast. Why?
Because I ate chili yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of just it's sort of the environment. I have like a Pavlovian response to doing the podcast where I just smell your ass, even if you're not farting.
Well, in fact, I shit my pants about an hour ago, and I'm just sitting in the choggle pants right now.
Okay. Well, at least it's not psychosomatic for me. It's actually real.
Definitely. So I came across something kind of interesting today while I was looking for an article. And I was kind of surprised that, once again, I'd never heard of this before.
I'd never heard of it either, so.
Which is kind of weird. And I feel like I was kind of taken by it.
That's the funniest part of this to
That's
me.
the funny part. So anyways, let me read the newsworthy aspect of this topic here. So I came across an article that said, publisher refused to print Bibles with porn reference on the cover. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. Doesn't that sound kind of cool? I guess there's 2 Corona, California pastors who minister to the adult film industry have hit a roadblock in their crusade. They're called the XXXchurch.com, XXXchurch.com.
That's their website.
Yeah, and what they wanted to do is they wanted to have Bibles printed with the brand Jesus Loves Porn Stars emblazoned on the cover. And I guess the American Bible Society balked and refused to print the 10,000 copies of the scriptures. What they wanted to do is they wanted to go to different porno conventions and pass out these Bibles.
They're real Bibles on the inside?
Real Bibles on the inside, but on the outside there's like a picture of like kind of look like to me like stars and like a porno Jesus that said Jesus Loves Porn Stars.
So it sounds like the perfect marketing ploy to like hipsters, right? You go, check out this Bible I got, dude.
Well, what I thought is I saw it and I'm like, well, this is kind of funny. So then I went and checked out the website, which I invite all the Sick and Wrong listeners to do. It's XXXchurch.com, even though I kind of now don't want to like provide them with any more traffic. But they're established. They've definitely been around for a long time. And so I'm looking at this website and I'm like, this has got to be a joke. I mean, how can you be an anti-porn crusader?
I think you also were mentioned that you were taken in because they look just too hip.
Well, exactly. I'm looking at this website and they have... Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's the worst like unnavigable website I think I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's just
a little
ridiculous.
difficult to get around.
But
at the same time, it's obvious they put a lot of money into it. It's not like just a crappy site. It's
designed.
It's professionally fucked up.
Exactly. And so I'm looking at this website, and they have like various topics. There's a store. There's a topic explaining their mission. There's something called Porno Sunday that they do, another event that they do.
Right.
And then there's like a whole like section of videos and interviews that they've had on ABC News and CNN and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what's up with this fanfare? This couldn't be real.
Well, and apparently their most popular DVD is called Missionary Position, which should just be such a great joke, like the anti-porn crusaders, their video's called Missionary Position, but really it's just satire, except in this case it's not satire, it's real.
It's ironic irony.
Yeah,
it's
a real mind fuck.
Well, exactly. And so I was looking at that DVD for sale. And I mean, they also sell shirts and stuff too. But that DVD, Missionary Positions, has a picture of the 2 guys. What's his name? Craig Gross
and
Mike Foster.
Yeah.
And like they're young guys. They're like 29, 31. One guy looks like he could be like the lead singer of Interpol or something.
Yeah, you would do him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, hot number, that guy. But he looks like some alternative hipster dude.
Right.
And I'm like, these guys have to be making a joke. It seems like a bit that would be from like Mr. Show or something. We're anti-porn crusaders.
No, they really are.
No, they really are. And this documentary, this Missionary Position, Musicians is a documentary that they did where they went to Amsterdam's red light district and were passing out Bibles. They went to the AVN Awards in Las Vegas. They're passing out Bibles. And then they have a podcast.
Yeah.
Called Dirty Secrets or something.
And it's really boring.
It's pretty boring.
They had one where they're interviewing Ron Jeremy, right? If we could get Ron Jeremy on our podcast, it would be so cool. But they interviewed Ron Jeremy, and it was the most boring thing ever.
I couldn't believe it. It was like they set it up as if they were going to have this debate about, the virtues of porn and like the evils of porn. But no. What they're sitting there was asking him, they're asking about the surreal life, and they're asking him about, so what do you think Christians should do these days? What's going on in the Christian community? And Ron Jeremy's like, I don't know.
No, their major accomplishment, and they reiterate the point twice, is that they get Ron Jeremy to say, no, I don't hate Christians. They're fine. I'm not Christian, but I guess Christians are all right. That was their major accomplishment with Ron Jeremy, to get him to admit that he doesn't hate all Christians.
I mean, but why would they even think that? I mean, just because he's a porn star?
I guess.
I don't know. But anyways, you can check out the podcast if you want. And, they have 20 glowing reviews.
Oh, yeah. Those are all Christian kids.
All the Bible thumpers, for some odd reason, are into this. But so on the DVD, they actually go to all these different areas and they crusade against porn. I guarantee those two guys jack off more than anyone that I know.
Yeah. They probably jack off in some really
more
weird...
than me.
They probably use some really strange method that nobody's ever thought of either. Between the Bible pages, dipping their balls in the holy water, that sort of thing. Or
I
something
bet you
like that.
they jack off to Jesus porn.
Yeah.
Davey and Goliath episodes
Jesus
or something.
fucking Christ.
Well, anyways, what they do, the XXX Church exists to bring awareness, openness, accountability, and recovery to the church, society, and individuals in the issues of pornography and porno addiction. They want to provide solutions through non-judgmental and creative means. It's here to make you think, react, and to decide where you stand on the issue of porn.
Yeah.
I guess porn is becoming an epidemic once again now that's available on podcasts. So Christians are uniting against porn, the evils of porn.
That's the whole thing about evangelical Christianity, is everything is always an epidemic eternally. It's like, oh, it's getting really bad now. Oh, now the homosexuals are the drinking and the porn. It's all bad, and it's all worse than it's ever been.
But dude,
whatever.
These two douchebags go to college campuses and they try to create publicity and stage these different media events where they pass out Bibles, and apparently it's working for them. I mean, they got ABC News is talking about them.
Yeah.
So it just kind of. I was just kind of in a state of shock because I looked at this and I was thinking, God, that's such a great idea.
Right.
Let's come up with some kind of mock crusade to mock Christianity. Let's adopt the aborted fetuses, or the Adopt the Aborted Fetus Foundation or something. And I'm like, these guys are great. They're actually mocking Christianity by crusading against porn. This is one of the funniest jokes. And I realized
they just took it one step further. So they were mocking something that mocked itself back into being that thing. They co-opted the whole hipster idea of co-opting things.
Well, dude, if you look, you can go get shirts on their website that said Jesus loves porn star shirts.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
Every kid on Telegraph Avenue is going to be wearing those sometime this week.
It just kind of makes me mad that these douchebags are not doing this mockingly. They're not doing this as a joke. They're
Damn
doing
their sincerity.
That's what pisses me off.
Right.
And that's why I invite people to send them hate mail. Send them hate mail and just completely ignore their anti-porn mission. Because
right. But you'll have to go to their website to get their email address, so...
I guess you could, but Jesus created porn, okay?
Right.
That's all I have to say is Jesus created porn. And on that note, I say we move on with
He
Sick
starred
and Wrong.
in many a fine film.
I was just a little surprised to see this and never have heard about it before. I wonder if they come to Berkeley, you think?
Probably. Campus Crusade for Christ.
But San Francisco has to be like the hotbed of porn. San Francisco and LA.
I wonder if they go to the Valley down south.
I wonder if they crusade.
That's where the AVN Awards are, right?
But you know what must be the most damaging porn to them? I guess the most offensive porn would be gay porn, don't you think?
Yeah, they don't go near that with a 10-foot.
Because that's like straight Sodom and Gomorrah porn.
Right. They don't want to be, besmirched.
You go straight to hell, from there. It's like there's
even being within a 10-foot radius.
There's no saving that.
Yeah.
Once you start butt fucking on film, Yeah, you're going straight to hell. Well, anyways, we move on. On that note, I just thought it was interesting. And also, one quick Ron Jeremy fact that I found online, too, today, is that, do you know Ron Jeremy was in the movie Ghostbusters?
I saw something about that, but I don't remember. I was trying to recall seeing him in any part of that movie, and I don't remember it at all.
Well,
it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he wasn't one of the Ghostbusters. He was an extra.
Yeah, I know that. Was he Slimer?
Is that green ghost that just slimed everybody?
Oh, come on, like you don't know. Yeah. It was the green one.
It kind of gives that whole new definition to the crossing streams thing, remember
yeah,
that?
Right.
Kind of.
Good one.
Well, anyways, they show on this website that I saw, they show a picture of him in one scene. It's just, he's an extra. And some, guy online actually was watching Ghostbusters and was like, that guy looks like Ron Jeremy. And I mean, it must have just been like one cut, like one tiny scene. There, that guy looks like Ron Jeremy, and he paused it and put it online, and you can actually tell it's Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy will just be in anything and try and do. I mean, he just wants to be really famous, and I mean, didn't you see that movie about him? We could probably get him to come on this podcast for like if we gave him the case of beer or something. He just wants exposure in any way possible.
Yeah, I bet you he probably would.
Yeah,
and I mean that guy kind of embodies Sick and Wrong. Maybe we should use him as a mascot.
Right.
I don't know. Well, anyways, let's move on with the show here. People, as you know, the way Sick and Wrong works, Lance and I find the most disturbing, disquieting articles on the internet, and for the week, they're all topical. We compare them, we discuss them, and then we ask you, the listeners, to vote as to which article you find the most personally disgusting, and the winner gets a case of beer. I believe last week, I think I won. Did I win last week?
Yeah.
I know
we had that case though.
Yeah, we had a couple listeners that wrote in and said that the grandpa that shot the kid, that old man that shot the kid,
get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn was more disgusting than the Seattle zombie murder rampage. So, but yeah, we invite you to vote as to your favorite article of the week. Sick and Wrong Podcast at hotmail.com. Also go to myspace.com/Sick and Wrong Podcast. Also, one thing before we get into it, Lance, I wanted to ask you.
I'm waiting. I'm at the gates.
Did you put the video up on the website yet?
Which video is
that? That Japanese shit fetish video?
No, I haven't. I've been lazy, but I will.
We're going to have to do that. So people, you want to go check out the website, Sick and Wrong, or Sick and Wrong. .blaringfoghorn.com. Yeah, I always forget that one. sickandwrong.blaringfoghorn.com. And you can check out one of the coolest videos I've seen online in a long time. Well, I say we get into, let the games begin here. Lance, you're kicking it off this week.
I will kick it off. Charlotte, North Carolina. 3 men accused of running a sadomasochistic dungeon in rural Haywood County were in custody Friday, charged with performing illegal castrations.
Are these guys doctors?
Do you think they're doctors?
No, they sound like just perverts.
Investigators from the office of Sheriff Tom Alexander said the men admitted to performing at least 8 surgeries on 6 consenting clients over the past year.
That makes no sense to me at all.
Including castrations and testicle replacements. It's extremely bizarre. Well, here, none of the men identified as blah, 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 61, blah, 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 49. The other guy's Michael Mendez.
What do they replace your
60.
testicles with?
I'll get to that.
All right.
There's actually a picture of Michael Mendez, why I mentioned his name. He kind of looks like a half Puerto Rican, half Jewish
Let me see.
Ron Jeremy with a sweet mullet.
Dude, that guy totally looks like Ron Jeremy.
I'd let him castrate me.
He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt with
if
a
I
mullet.
were to, in the market to get castrated, I'd go to this guy.
Yeah, he looks like someone who I think would be good at that.
None of them were licensed to practice medicine.
Didn't think so.
It's extremely bizarre, said the district attorney. It's incredible the amount of ways that people can find to run afoul of the law, that's for sure. Hoo boy howdy.
So wait, I don't understand. So this guy is like, hey, we're going to have a big castration party at my house. Come to my house and get your balls cut off.
It's more
and
like
people are like, yeah, sweet. That sounds cool.
No, I think it's more like a S&M dungeon type thing. Like, you know, maybe they put an ad on Craigslist, you know, S&M people looking for extreme bottoms, you know, willing to go the extra mile and be humiliated and, you know, maimed.
I mean, that's worse than wearing a diaper. It's worse than having feces
This is
smeared on
pretty
your
much
face.
it.
Yeah, this is
the
like
top.
as extreme as you can go
This
here.
is the top of being a bottom.
This is
that makes sense.
This is extreme S&M.
So here's what they, according to Alexander's office, who's the sheriff, detectives who searched the home Wednesday found medical supplies that included scalpels, sutures, bandages. Well, at least they're, you know, stitching and
God, I'm
bandaging these people
cringing.
up. Local anesthetic, which is good. And artificial replacement testicles known as nudicles.
What are they called? Nudicles?
Nudicles. There's no little TM or little R in a circle after that, so I assume it's not like a trademarked product that you can get on the internet.
Does this fat bastard make the nudicles
He
himself?
must, or
Out of
maybe
like clay?
or maybe it's just
Play-Doh?
you know, like a ball bearing. It's just, you know, it's just something you can get anywhere. Lots of different manufacturers.
Call me prudish. Call me, naive. Why the fuck would someone want to get their balls cut off and replaced with a plastic set of nudicles?
I have no comment.
I don't know.
I have no response to that.
I think we're gonna have to have my brother come in here and answer this question.
He would probably know. He's probably
my brother's probably hosted one of these parties before.
He's probably touched nudicles before.
He's probably been teabagged by a set of nudicles.
Oh, it's great. Best teabag job ever.
So clean and so smooth.
So here we come to the payoff. Also seized were videotaping equipment, videotapes, compact discs, and DVDs that the sheriff said had recordings of the surgeries. So I'm wondering if they're selling these on some type of like bizarre, freakish, perverse black
You should
market.
Google nudicle and see what comes up.
I
Is
will.
it just Nuticle?
Yeah, just how it sounds.
Nuticle.
So they each face. This is kind of funny, and then I'm almost out here. So the suspects were arrested. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they were actually charged with some funny, specific charges, which makes me think there's some specific laws on the books. 5 counts of felonious castration without malice. 5 counts of felonious conspiracy to commit castration without malice. And 8 counts of misdemeanor performing medical acts without a license.
So is castration illegal?
Castration without malice is a specific law
It's a
on the
crime.
books in North Carolina. So maybe they've had a problem with this before.
I think there's a precedent that must have been set.
So it sounds like they had like a dungeon set up for the videos. You know, it wasn't just like in some guy's bathroom.
Did
actually
they
had-
mention what CDs they found? Like, were they music CDs?
No,
like
I
the
think it's all just
B-52s?
like you know, movie computer files on
the Genitorturers.
right. Investigators said other surgeries performed at the home included, these are even worse, dude, urethra rerouting
Oh God, dude!
and penis removal.
Dude, what the fuck? I don't understand this. So once you get that done,
Where do you
can
reroute
never-
it?
Well,
Where is it being rerouted to?
Well, what I don't understand, you get your penis removed, you're never going to be able to go to another party like that again.
No, it's a one-time thing.
It's a one-time thing, so it's got to be like, well, that was the best party I've ever had. Now I can't fuck anything anymore.
There's probably a lot of post S&M castration depression cases out there.
Well, I could see that because you don't have your penis
Because you don't have
removed.
anything to do anymore. You know, that was the top thing you were ever going to do.
What do you do with it? What do they do with the penis? Do they get the severed penis back, put it under the pillow for the penis fairy?
It says the cops did take away as evidence like some jars with balls in them.
This is the second story on Sick and Wrong where the cops actually had to remove the penis, the
Right.
severed penis.
Yeah. This time it sounds more like they were maybe preserved a little better. It wasn't just they weren't just laying on the concrete like that other story we did.
Could you imagine the cops that had to go on this raid were just like, man, dude, sometimes I hate this job.
Right. And these
Because
guys,
they wore rubber gloves for sure.
oh yeah.
I mean, I would have wore a full bodysuit.
I just don't understand it. How do you get into doing this? How do you get into being one of the clients, quote unquote?
And dude, I don't understand. Once you have your penis removed, where do you pee out of? I mean, you can't pee standing up
That's
anymore.
why they reroute the urethra.
To where?
I
Your
don't know,
mouth?
but it's gotta be your finger.
You're gonna have to sit down when you pee.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a given.
I guess the only way that this party might be beneficial is if you're, a transsexual, like a pre-op transsexual, and you want to go through the surgery, can't afford it, so you go find this perverted fat bastard wearing a Hawaiian shirt and like Could you please cut my dick off?
Yeah, we should mention he has a Hawaiian shirt on, as well as the mullet and the glasses and the just weird mustache.
So I wonder if that guy has a dick.
Oh yeah, this is completely typical of the type of crime where the guys who are doing it aren't into the practice on getting it on themselves. It's a dual relationship. It's the person who does it gets off on doing it, and the person who's getting it done to them gets off on that aspect.
Dude, I don't know about you. You find the cannibal story where they eat the penis, and now it's this one where they get the penises cut off. I see a trend going here. Seriously, like a fixation.
Stop me before I do this to myself.
I don't know. Next time you invite me to a party, I'm going to question it. So on the second...
Always know the escape routes.
Yeah.
Anytime you go into a party with me.
I'm just going to bring like those ninja smoke bombs and just like disappear.
Yeah.
But on the sick and wrong scale, this is pretty fucking disgusting.
It's a 9.
I'm going to have to give this a 9. I mean, all of our stories usually rank pretty high, but this one... It's pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, and once again...
My balls have retracted.
Like a lot of... Well, maybe you don't need the surgery then.
Yeah, but I hope they drop again.
And there's videos out there. God damn it. I hate these stories where they say there's DVDs and there's just no way you're ever going to see them.
Just like the horse fucker, the guy that got fucked by the horse.
Exactly.
You'll never find that DVD. But people, if there's some sick fuck that listens to the show and you come across that, send it in. Why not? We'll put it on the website.
Or if you know where the urethra gets rerouted, I'd like to know that also.
Yeah. So urologists, please email us. Let us know.
Professional or freelance amateurs.
Yeah. I just wonder if that guy has like a big medicine book or something, and he's just like sitting there like, oh yeah, this is how you do it.
Well, it doesn't say anybody died.
He probably practiced on his dog.
It doesn't say anybody died, so they must kind of know what they're doing.
God, dude. Is that gay?
No, not specifically.
It's not gay?
I don't think so.
I don't know what I would call
I think
that.
I think it's probably
hyper perverted or something.
Well, I just think it doesn't
excessively perverted.
I think it probably tracks along lines that don't care about gender. What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for?
I'm not sure.
Whether you like boys or girls.
It's just kind of androgynous.
Yeah,
sort of.
No, I can't think of a word. Never mind.
I don't know, dude. I just think the whole thing is just definitely pretty sick and wrong. So I'm gonna have to give that a 9. My story is gonna be kind of difficult to compare to that one, but I'm gonna try anyways, just because it's kind of fucked up. It's not completely long, but it's definitely kind of fucked up and ties into one of my favorite movies. So,
really?
Yeah. Let me start this off here. This happened in Clarendon Hills, Illinois. Dad stabbed girl, tried to drown her in the toilet. He's charged with first-degree murder. An Illinois man accused of choking his 8-year-old daughter, stabbing her in the neck, and then drowning her in the toilet.
Swirly.
Has been charged with murder. His name's Neil Lofquist. He's 40 years old, and he's currently being held without bond. I don't think they're going to let this guy go. I guess he attempted to strangle his daughter in her bedroom while his wife was downstairs watching TV and his son was in bed. He then dragged her to the bathroom where he attempted to drown her in the toilet. So I guess the strangulation didn't work out for him.
No.
Then he's like,
Swirly
you know what?
time.
I'm just going to have to drown her in the toilet. That didn't pan out too well either. And so he just ended up stabbing her in the neck.
Nice.
Yeah, his daughter's only 8 years old. He then later went to a hospital with his wife to attend to the wounds that he suffered.
What happened?
I think she might have fought back.
The 8-year-old got the better of him for a second there?
Maybe. I don't know.
Good for her.
Prosecutors said that hotel personnel called the police and suggested they check the Lofquist home. They found the girl and they weren't able to revive her. So I guess what happened is, so he committed this murder, went to the hospital, and the mom called a babysitter to come over and watch the daughter, and the son. And the babysitter is the one that found the daughter, bleeding from a neck wound with wet hair, obviously from being shoved in the toilet.
So the dad came down, had an injury. The mom was going to take him to the hospital and got a babysitter, but didn't go to check on her 8-year-old before they left. She just let the babysitter in and was like, the 8-year-old's upstairs or something.
Apparently she didn't.
Best parents ever.
I don't understand it. So anyways, authorities obviously were perplexed by this.
Yeah, motive?
Motive. What's wrong with you? Is this guy insane? So they interviewed him for 14 hours where he spoke at length about the killing. I guess Lofquist, speaking clearly and calmly, said he saw signs of the devil in his daughter.
Oh, Jesus.
And saw the number 666 in a card game that they were playing. He said then that he decided he had to do what needs to be done. So it was after they were playing the card game. They don't specify which card game. I don't think it was Go Fish. It might have been Old Maid. Probably was poker, actually. And she beat him with a 3 of a kind. So anyways, he was upset by it. He said, the girl's obviously possessed by Satan. And so he ended up killing her. He also told authorities he would not hurt his 6-year-old son because his son was, quote unquote, the chosen one.
Okay. This guy, has he watched The Omen too many times or not enough? Because if you remember, that movie's very long, and Gregory Peck stabs his son at the very end. It's the last resort. There's many things you do before that.
To verify,
right? You get a priest. You make sure your kid's not retarded.
Did he even look on the back of underneath her hair to see if there's a the 666 tattoo?
It doesn't sound like it. This guy just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, this guy, he sounds like such an amateur. It's just like, okay, he saw 666 in the card game.
You don't go straight to the stabbing. There's other steps before that.
Yeah, but he strangled her first, and then gave her the swirly, and then stabbed her. But anyways, the girl was only 8 years old. She was a goalkeeper for the, Presbyterian Church Soccer League.
Oh, man.
So, this guy was obviously some kind of religious nutcase here.
Whack job.
I just don't understand what he meant by the son being the chosen one. So was it the son's the chosen one? You know what I don't understand,
I didn't catch that. So he said he killed the daughter, but he thought the son was the chosen one?
Yeah, this is what he said. He killed the daughter because of the card game. But he told authorities he would not hurt his 6-year-old son because his son was the chosen one.
When he's saying chosen one, is he meaning on the side of Jesus Christ, chosen one? Like he's the good?
I think he meant his son is Jewish. He's one of the chosen.
The chosen people. There's not one Jew
I think
that's
he probably
chosen.
meant that the son's the chosen one. Maybe the son's the Messiah or something. I don't know. What I'm surprised is how come the girl didn't have a Rottweiler protecting her?
Yeah. Because she wasn't really the Satan baby. That's why. That's why there's other steps. Yeah, check the dog. That's one of the steps you do before stabbing your kid.
Yeah, there's just so many different steps that you could take before you did that. I guess...
Is the nanny sort of crazy and satanic? That's another thing you should check before you stab.
The nanny that just kind of, comes there with a surprise,
right.
She just kind of shows up on your doorstep.
Right.
I'm here to take care of your kid.
Take her to a monkey. Take her to a monkey refuge. Do the monkeys go crazy? That's another step of verification.
No, this guy really didn't need to verify. I think he just kind of jumped the gun here.
This guy
maybe
shoots first and asks questions later.
But you know what, though? Our society sees something like this happen, and they automatically think, okay, this guy's insane. But maybe she was the devil's child.
He's just a take charge type of guy.
He might have been doing the world a favor, just like George Bush with Saddam Hussein. I think George Bush, if given the opportunity, would have given him a swirly.
I don't pay attention to polls. I just do what I think is needed.
Saddam Hussein needs to get his head stuck in the toilet. But no, what I'm saying is it's just kind of, the whole thing's kind of strange. I guess his wife told investigators that he had been acting strangely for the past 3 to 4 weeks. And but she would have never predicted something like this. Prosecutors have said they will request a psychiatric evaluation, and attorney Terry Eckel, who will represent Lofquist, said he too would ask for an evaluation. He said that we'll be making decisions very soon as to whether we'll assert an insanity defense. I would say an insanity defense will probably be in order here.
That's really your only option, right?
I imagine it's like the guy definitely sounds insane. So you wonder now, what's going to happen? So the son's like, okay, dad's in prison because he's crazy, or he's in a mental ward, and I'm the chosen one.
Yeah.
what does he mean by this? Is this kid going to grow up with like a huge ego, become Pauly Shore? I mean, what's going to happen here? I bet you the kid's going to grow up with developmental problems.
He has a greater father than his real father.
He's the chosen one.
Right.
I wonder if the kid was just like, hey, Dad, what's her name? I don't even know what the daughter's name is. Effie
Just
Sue.
all in hand signals, just points to her,
Yeah.
makes the stabbing motion.
She's got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the
I think
chosen
so.
one.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
And,
you know.
I think Mom might be a little satanic, too.
Right.
So,
She took away my fucking Pop-Tart this morning.
yeah, kind of strange. So anyways, that's about it. But on the sick and wrong scale, just because, the guy stabbed his own daughter thinking she was the devil, I'm going to have to give this at least an 8.
Yeah, in a normal week, that would be probably the winner. But with the genital
penises being severed.
mutilation dungeon, you gotta.
There are no penises being severed here, but an 8-year-old girl was strangled, swirled, and stabbed in the neck.
Yeah,
because of a card game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
If her genitals were mutilated, maybe it would have done it.
Yeah,
but...
if he cut her dick off, then I can understand. But anyways. So anyways, yeah. On that note, I'm going to have to give it an 8. But we still invite the listeners, the listening audience to
We've been
vote.
surprised before.
It's weird.
Sometimes the listeners prefer the story that we didn't prefer.
Well, it's funny because we come to our own conclusions about which articles sticker. Obviously, I think we're good judges of this type of material.
Right. But we have our own predilections, which sometimes don't jibe with the general listening audience. Listening.
No, the listening audience, can come to their own conclusions. And so we welcome you to do that. And email us, sickandwrongpodcast@hotmail.com, and you decide who gets the case of beer. Anyways, real quick before we end the show here, one of the things that we've been closing a lot of the shows with is listeners have been sending us in their own sick and wrong stories. And usually, sometimes, like last week, we had a personal story about some girl who had anal sex, and the guy had like a lima bean that came out of her. Yeah, it came out of her colon. And we definitely invite you to send.
Still there a week later.
We definitely invite you to send your own sick and wrong stories to us because we'll read them because we like that.
Yeah, it's great, especially if it's something we missed.
Definitely. And so. This article, I don't even know how I missed this. This is great. It was sent in by a guy who's using the moniker Doo-Doo Man.
Doo-Doo Man actually sends us a lot of stuff that isn't that great. He's kind of prolific.
But you know what? I think Doo-Doo Man has promise here. He has potential.
Does he sign as Doo-Doo Man or the Doo-Doo Man?
In Hotmail, when I check the email, it signs as the Doo-Doo Man.
Okay.
So he's the Doo-Doo Man. So the Doo-Doo Man sent in this article. I guess this happened in South Carolina about a week ago. Police say that an oiled suspect attacks officers. A naked man exposed himself to his 66-year-old neighbor, then later attacked officers with nunchucks.
66-year-old male neighbor or female neighbor?
Female neighbor. And dude, you guys see this picture of this guy? He's got like Jerry curl. He's a black guy. Jerry curl. Kind of looks like Morris Day a little bit.
Yeah.
Police say 49-year-old Rudolph Claude Smith went next door to his neighbor's apartment to borrow some oil for a workout. While he was in a woman's home, police say he took off his clothes, staying there buck naked, and asked the 66-year-old woman to oil him up.
Yeah.
Oil me up, bitch.
Dude, that 66-year-old woman, that's the best thing she's got in a long time.
Well, apparently, she didn't oil him up. She called the police instead, and police officers, when they arrived, were greeted with an oily naked man running at them with nunchucks. They said that it was very difficult for them to get a good grip on him.
Where did he pull the nunchucks out of if he was naked?
I don't know. But his nudicles? Kept it in his nudicles?
They double his storage spot.
He's charged with 2 counts of assaulting police, first-degree burglary, and indecent exposure. One of my favorite things about here is his family claims that he's mentally ill. Smith told the judge during his trial that he didn't need to burglarize anyone because he, quote, owns a multi-million-dollar corporation unbeknownst to the people of Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what type of corporation, but I would like to buy their products.
He's probably an international just one-man army. Yeah,
I don't
oiled up
know.
with nunchucks. He'll just go into some, foreign terrorism
Well, you know what I was thinking, dude?
group and just take names.
This is something that could easily happen in Oakland.
I hope they don't show up at our door.
Well, if this guy did show up at your door asking you to oil him up, would you just be like, no, sorry, dude?
I might oil him up.
You might oil him up.
If I had the oil.
He's probably looking for the castration party that you're hosting.
Yeah, well, nunchucks and oiled up dude while I'm doing fine-tuned surgery probably isn't a good mix. I'd probably turn her away if it was one of those nights.
It could be, but he
If
does
it was
have
a Tuesday.
He does have a pair of nunchucks. He's dangerous.
Right, he's swinging them around. He's oiled up. He's got all kinds of attitude.
So now,
the
that's a
castration
video.
party is more of a calm affair.
That's a video that I'd like to
Reserved.
see. An oiled up black guy attacking police officers with nunchucks.
Yeah.
That's
There's no
great.
video though, right?
I wish there
Sometimes
would
the cars have video cameras in them, and it's always taking video.
God, that'd be great. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, I'd like to thank the Doo-Doo Man for sending that in. And, Doo-Doo Man, keep sending us articles because we'll read them and discuss
Some of them,
here on
Jesus.
Sick and Wrong. Yeah, some of them are just completely off base. I don't even know where he gets them from.
Volume, though, quantity.
Anyways, thanks for listening to Podcast 14. We have a special surprise for Podcast 15.
Maybe we're doing some bidding on eBay, and we'll see if it pans out for us.
Well, I kind of want to let the audience in on a secret. We found a mascot for the show.
Maybe
Maybe.
we're still trying to get the
If we can
win.
get the mascot, then we'll debut him next Podcast 15. But he's pretty fucking cool. I can tell you that.
I might go up the bid right after the show here.
How many hours left?
I think the last time I checked, there were 20 hours or something.
So we're actually going to buy our mascot on eBay. And he's going to be on the website. So,
It's reach around money. It's not our money.
yeah, well, the reach around money, I mean, it's money that they give to the show. So
Thanks,
we're gonna
Brent.
use money, yeah. We're going to use money from the Reach Around Foundation for it. So make sure you stay tuned. Podcast 15 coming next week. Until then, take it easy. Thank you, and good night.
Don't let your hickory stick.